All right. Is this working? Wonder if this is working. All right. Can you guys hear me? I'm trying a new audio setup. I have a mic. You guys can't see it, but hopefully it's better. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are hearing me right now. We'll get the chat room going. We'll get people watching, and then we'll start the post game reaction to Game 1 of the finals. All right, I'm getting a couple yeses on the audio. Good, good. Let's get this going. This live stream. I'm excited. Game 1. Not bad, not bad. Let me get my notes out. All right, views steadily going up. Anyone out there, Cleveland fans? And I'm not talking like people who like pick the Cavs to win. I'm talking like Cleveland fans. Like, you know who Sasa Pavlovich is. You know who like Ricky Davis is. Like, are there any like real Cleveland fans watching right now? I would love to get your guys' point of view on this game because I thought that the Cavs are more interesting than the Warriors. Like, they could do more things and they have more storylines to them. I think everyone expects the Warriors to win, but the Cavs have, LeBron, who has been to 6 straight finals, and he's, arguably the best player in the world. And Cleveland hasn't won a title for sports since like the 60s. So I think that, coupled with the fact that they were in the finals last year and didn't win without their 2 main guys, a lot of people were saying, hey, if we had those 2 guys, it'd be a different story. But now you guys have those 2 guys back. I just want to know how you guys feel. Do you feel stronger with Love and Kyrie? Because to me, I think that Love actually hurts the squad in a way. But, I'm not too sure. So I would love to get a Cavalier fan point of views. I know it's late out there if you guys are actually from Ohio, but I would like to see what the Cavs fans think about Game 1. I think it's really interesting. I see John Landkamer. He says he hates Tristan Thompson. That guy gets away with so much stuff. I'm just baffled at some of the stuff he gets away with. The only thing that draws back from the Cavs is their bench is not strong enough to compete against Golden State. You know what? I think that the Cavs bench is fine. I just don't think they're up to the challenge. I mean, Shumpert, Fry, Dellavedova. In the playoffs, you really only need 8 or maybe 9 guys. And I just named 3 guys right there, so that makes 8. So, Dellavedova, we know what he did last year. Channing Frye has been on fire this playoffs, and Shump is, the prototypical 3-and-D guy. But, yes, the Golden State bench outplayed the Cavs this game, but I don't think the Cavs bench is terrible by any means. I mean, they got Mozgov, who dominated some moments in last year's finals sitting on the bench. So, I think the Cavs bench is fine. I see Laruo Rangel. I'm so bad at names. But he says, what do you think about Anderson Varejao getting a ring no matter what? I think that's hilarious. Good for him. He's a hilarious guy. But yeah, since Varejao played for the Cavs and the Warriors this year, he gets a ring no matter what happens. That's pretty funny. Another pair says, Love did good tonight. We got Timberwolves love, but the bench killed us. Other than that, we are fine. Interesting, other pair. I actually don't disagree. I think there's some big concerns with the Cavs right now. We'll get into that as more people get watching. But yeah, I think that the Cavs have some real concerns right now. What I mean by that, Bernard543 says, isn't it crazy how the Splash Bros had a terrible night but still won? That's what I mean. That's big concerns for the Cavs, and we'll definitely get more in depth to that as more people watch, because I don't want people asking the same questions all night like they did last night. I want everyone to get the takes on the game. And remember, this show isn't just my takes, it's everyone's takes. So in the chat room, give us your takes on the game. If you're a Warrior fan, a Cavs fan, or just a basketball fan, let us know. I'll bring it up in the live stream. You just got to put it in the chat, ESPN already making excuses for Cavs JR hurt his wrist. Please give me a break. That's what ESPN does. And it might have been true. What if J.R. Smith's wrist really did hurt him? I mean, what I saw was his right wrist, I believe, was the one that was hurt, and that's his shooting wrist. So, I have chronic wrist problems, and it hurts every now and then. Sometimes it really affects my shooting. So sometimes, the Cavs or the injury reports aren't just blowing smoke. They're actually true. I mean, everyone's banged up at this point. It's the finals. You're supposed to be hurting. If you're not hurting, then you didn't play hard enough. Mad Razzo 1423 says J.R. Smith didn't show up tonight. Shaking my head. You shouldn't shake your head at it. J.R. Smith is that kind of player. He's hot one night and then cold the next. I mean, that's just what he is. I'm not surprised that J.R. Smith went cold tonight and didn't really do much. Another pair says Cavs was rusty and wasn't ready. That's all. Again, I think there's concern. If they can't, it wasn't really even close. It got close in the third quarter, but at the end of the day, it was kind of a blowout, and the Splash Bros played terrible. So, let's see here. I just read a good one. Benny Franchise says, I think the Cavs bench are good enough. Also, they only lose Kyrie and K-Love are overrated. Certainly not a big three at all. Well, I think Kyrie's a really good player. K-Love, I'm not totally sold on, but he's got real talent and skill. I mean, you have to call him a big three when you have three guys like that. And when you're with LeBron, too. So, but yeah, I think the Cavs bench is fine. Benson Long says 1 like equals 1 prayer for Iguodala's nuts. Exactly. If you're praying for Iggy's nuts, give this video a like. So Josiah Brewster brings up Delly wasn't even dirty. What do you guys think? I don't think the Delly punch was intentional, but I mean, I think it's naive to say that he's not dirty. I mean, he's a dirty player, and that's fine. That's totally fine, but he's a dirty player. I mean, come on. He was going for guys' knees last year. He just hasn't really been playing this much in this postseason, but yeah. Matt Razzo 1423 asks, who will I think will win it all? I think Golden State will win, but would I be surprised if the Cavs won? No. MCR Lover 95 says, dude, he hit him in the nuts by accident or on purpose. I would be pissed. Facts. Let's see here. How about that Draymond kick to Kyrie, though? Give me a break. It wasn't a kick. How about that nut shot to Iggy? I mean, if anything, that was more dirty than anything Draymond did this game. So, look, it's fine being dirty. We love dirty players. Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Larry Johnson. These were Gary Payton. These were all dirty guys, and we all love them. So if a guy wants to be dirty, I mean, it's fine. If you go to the park usually the most dirtiest guy has like the most respect. Like that's just how you play hard defense. I mean, you gotta let these guys play, and we like seeing it. So let's see. Benson Luong says, "What do you think Iggy said to Dellavedova?" I heard I read his lips, and it looked like it was like F word, and he called them a B word. So yeah, I don't know what words were in between to string it together, but something along those lines. It's pretty funny. Um, Nathan Pierce asked a good question. He asked, "Better handles, Kyrie or Curry?" I'll let you guys decide. I think Kyrie has like more combos. You know, he's like bang, 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 bing, bong, bang, bang, Hadouken. Whereas Curry is just kind of like bang, bang, and then he like shoots. I think like Curry has more like knockout blows, but Kyrie's more like a combo puncher. You know, I mean that's a stupid analogy, but that's just what I think. Um, yeah, but what do you guys think? Better handles, Kyrie or Curry? Caleb Morales says Kyrie better handle. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's really splitting hairs here. I mean, they both have great handles. Spencer Bach or Bach, yeah, he puts it really well. Spencer, this is a really good comment from him. He says Curry more effective handles. I'd have to agree. Kyrie kind of like he'll dribble in one place and it'll take him nowhere. While it looks great and it's technically harder to do, Curry's moves get him the shot that he wants. That's just the way I see it. Jonathan Manga asks a question, sweep? I don't know. I don't think they'll get swept, but I did pick the Warriors in 5. And let me tell you, I didn't feel good about it. And after this game, I still don't feel good about it because I think the Cavs are a great team, and LeBron is a fantastic player, and it's hard to see his team get swept or go out in 5. So, but I don't know. After what the Warriors had to go through with OKC, I thought that the Cavs really didn't have an answer to it. Chris IKF says Kyrie has better handles. Curry is better at creating space using his moves. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Clayton says Kyrie's got better moves. Curry's handles off a pick or a double are insane. Definitely agree with that. Benjamin Hill asks, who's the better overall player, Kyrie or Curry? Even Evan Moss says more well-rounded game, Curry or Kyrie. I mean, come on. It's Curry. MC Lover 95 says bench is going to show up because they're clamping Curry and Clay up. I definitely want to talk about that a little bit later. I don't think that Curry and Clay had a bad games, but they didn't shoot well. But that helped their team. It's a weird thing. Like I don't get it. Like it's a weird thing. Like they didn't shoot well, but they helped their team a lot. And hopefully we'll get into that as soon as we get, a good amount of people watching. John Michael says Mozgov or Thompson. Probably Thompson, especially in this series. Noah Fields asks, what shoe does Sean Livingston wear? I think he wears the Hyper Dunk 2014s, might be 15s. But yeah, he's a Hyper Dunk guy for sure. Zhu Bolin says, whoever wins the next game wins the series. Well, I don't know. I mean, of course that could happen, but I think even if the Cavs win this series, because they won last year game 2, and then the Warriors won their series. So I mean, if last year is any indication of this year's final, which is all we have really to base it on, then in that case, the Warriors would still win the series if Cavaliers win game 2. Henry Cow says, Jerron, what did the Cavs have to change? In my opinion, the Cavs guarded Curry and Clay so well. Really, they doubled them in the right spots. But what they didn't do was they guarded the first action, which was Curry or Clay. They didn't guard the second action. So There was one play where Draymond set a screen for Curry, then Curry popped up, LeBron and Shump doubled him, and then there was no rotation help to get Green, who split or kind of rolled to the basket, and he was wide open, and then he dunked on Tristan Thompson, I believe. That's what they have to change. They have to guard the second, the third, and the fourth actions by the Golden State Warriors offense. And that's easier said than done, I know, but this is the finals. You got to do it. I thought that's why Curry and Clay helped their team with shooting as poorly as they did, because their gravity just opened up so many extra shots for their teammates. And that's just the kind of thing I want to stress, is that, like, just because Curry and Clay don't play well shooting wise doesn't mean that they're just as effective as like a LeBron, who's scoring 23 points this game. Curry had 11 points. Clay had, I think, 9 points. That doesn't mean they weren't as effective as LeBron, who scored 23. That's just my takeaway. Let's see. LeBron should wear his 11s during the finals. I don't know. He likes his current, his 12s. John Michael is asking, would you say the Warriors have this in the bag? Again, I predicted the Warriors in 4, but I didn't feel, or not 4, 5, but I didn't feel that great about it. After watching this game, I think the Cavs have some real problems. Now, if they adjust, because the Cavs absolutely have the right to, have us think that they could win this series. They're a good team. I just think that they have to make the right adjustments, and that's what the playoffs are all about. Give me 1 second. Let me text Nightwing. Let's see if we can get him in here. Zubolin says LeBron is overrated. Well, Nightwing would certainly agree with you. Ian Roos says, Ian, I think you chose the Cavs to win this. I forget if it was in 6 or 7, but you have to refresh my memory. He asked, who will have a better career in the end, LeBron or Curry? I don't know. We can't predict the future. Well, based on what we're seeing, the only thing we could take away from Curry's career is that he's really good, he breaks records, and he gets to the finals, and he doesn't lose. Now, it's the smallest sample size, right? He's only been to 2 finals, and he's only won 1 so far, and he's playing in the second one so far. But if he doesn't lose this finals, I mean, that's impressive, right? I mean, it's hard to say because LeBron has such a bigger resume, and we know more of his career, and Curry's kind of like a untreaded path. We're not quite sure where his career is going to end up. Nightwing's just telling me he didn't watch the game. He was at the gym. Okay. Jarrett Ramirez says, did Curry wear the 2 or the 2.5 tonight? I believe he wore the 2. So, yeah. We have D123703, who's a Kings fan, it looks like, based on this profile picture. He says Golden State in 6. That's a pretty good prediction. But yeah, I can't pronounce his name. His last name is Kaplan. He asks, do you think if Livingston keeps it up, he will get final MVP? No. I thought Livingston played well, though, but that's the thing. They guarded Curry and Clay so well that Livingston was left wide open, and they kind of forgot to guard the other guys. If you look at the box score, like, it's crazy. Like, all the leading scorers for the Warriors weren't Curry, Clay, or Draymond. It was like Bogut, Barbosa, Livingston. Like, why? Like, I don't understand why the Cavs aren't guarding the second action. I think their rotation defense is terrible. Bradley Allinger says, yo, Jaron, do you think the King is being dethroned by Curry? As far as, is Curry the most popular player in the league right now? Yes. If you want to call that being dethroned, that's up to you. But I think that Curry has successfully replaced LeBron as the most popular player in the league. I mean, you look at the kids, they all want to be like Curry because they can be, right? They can't do what LeBron does. They can't be 6'8", 250 and, dunk, but they can be 6'3" or 6'2" and shoot threes. They can do that. They can practice that right now. They can't practice dunking. They can practice shooting threes. And I think that in a sense of, is Curry the most popular player? Yes, he is. Evan Moss says Durant or LeBron offensively. I would say Durant because, offensively speaking, because I think has the potential to be the best offensive player in the world, and he certainly has been for years, but not these past 2 years. That would have to go to Curry. He's the best offensive player right now in just these 2 years. But Durant could come back next year and be the most unguardable player in the world, like Steph is now. It's just that I think Durant sometimes has a tendency to be too passive. He needs to just kind of put his head down more. John Michael's asking me who I think needs to step up for the Cavs. I think the Cavs just need to be better as a team defensively. They need to be communicating and on a string with each other. I think that Kyrie, Love, and LeBron can carry them offensively. That's enough firepower to get it done. Especially what we saw with LeBron last year is that he just posted up on the left block and kept them in the game. Worst case scenario, that's what happens in this series. But on the defensive end, you've got to get stops. And I think that it's not a singular person. It's everyone. Everyone needs to step up on defense for the Cavaliers, in my opinion. Caden Davis is asking, how effective do you think LeBron would be if he masters a three-point shot? Like, let's say, Clay. Well, I'd say that LeBron's on a long road to get there. His best year as a three-point shooter, he wasn't even shooting a lot. You have to remember, Steph and Clay are taking like 5 or 7 to 11 threes a game each. Each of them are taking that many threes, and they're shooting at such a high percentage. LeBron's best three-point shooting year, I think he was taking like 2 or 3 shots from beyond the arc a game. I don't know. Let me look it up. But he was doing it effectively, but, and that made him deadly because you had to honor his three-point shot. So I'm looking at his stats right now. His best three-point percentage-wise year was in 2012-13. Right, he shot 40%. That was the only time he shot 40%. And he shot 3 a game, and he made 1.5. So there you go. I don't think LeBron is ever that kind of player who's going to shoot 5, 7 threes a game and consistently shoot it at a 40% clip. If he did, though, of course, he'd be the most deadly player we've ever seen in the game, obviously. Luis Silva asked, do you think the ISO game is dying? No, I think that's one way you can beat the Warriors is a good post-up game. The problem is not many guys know how to guard the post because no one does it anymore. But what you're seeing with players like Boogie Cousins is that they have a good post game, and the fact that people don't know how to post up means that people don't know how to guard it, which is why Boogie is so dominant. They don't know what to do when Boogie puts his back to the basket because no one knows how to defend it because they never have to. So I don't think the ISO game is dying. I think that's one way you can beat the Warriors. OKC tried to do ISO game, but they did it wrong. They did mid-court mid-range jumpers, and they weren't good shots. When you post up, usually your offense has 4 guys on the perimeter, maybe 1 sitting baseline waiting for the help defense to overhelp, and a guy posting up. You put up a shot, those guys, the rest of the guys who weren't posting up are already ready, set back on defense by the time the other team gets the rebound. So, yeah. Jared Ramirez says he's the most exciting player. Speaking of Curry, well, yeah, because he's that good. There's skill in Curry's game, and the fact that he's doing what he's doing makes him the most exciting. Absolutely. The OG Fresh is asking, what if Durant got traded to Golden State? To that, sir, I would say, game over. Okay, James Menza's asking, if a game is on the line, who should the Warriors give the last shot to, Curry or Thompson? This is an easy answer. It's Curry because he has better ball control, so he could get a shot better than Thompson could, and you could argue Thompson is a better catch and shoot type of player. So worst case, or not worst case scenario, but one of the scenarios would be Curry's doing his dribbling and then passes to Thompson and he catches and shoots. That's much more better than Thompson passing to Curry. Curry's a better passer. So last shot, I would definitely give it to Curry. Caden Davis is asking, we already answered that question. Mad Razzo 1423 is asking, is Curry's defense underrated? I think he did a good job when LeBron was backing him up. That's an interesting thing. There were multiple times where LeBron had Curry with his back to the basket and LeBron just passed the ball. How do you guys feel about this? I feel like LeBron should have got Curry into foul trouble, should have banged him down low, kind of took his legs from underneath him, rough him up a little bit. I mean, LeBron's 6'8", 250. That's the thing to do. But instead, he just passed it to the corner like twice. And then one time, Curry was guarding him in the post the entire possession, and they didn't even give the ball to LeBron. So, yes, I think Curry's defense is underrated. This is something that I talked to you guys about in my last live stream where I said, Curry's defense is good. It's just his body can't do it for 48 minutes, and there's nothing wrong with that. They want to save him, especially on the offensive end, but him being 6'3", a buck 85, of course he's not going to guard Westbrook, who's 6'4", 210 or 15 or whatever he is. That's just idiotic to put a guy like that on him the entire game. I mean, yes, I think Curry's defense is underrated. Let's see. Edward Baptiste says Thompson is a better straight-up three-point shooter, but Curry does it better on the dribble and can finish off the rim. Exactly, which is exactly why I would have him with the last shot, with the ball in his hands for the last shot of the game. Lil Baller asked, do you think Curry was in a slump or was it good defense? I thought it was good defense. I didn't think he got the shots that he wanted, whereas last series, Curry was missing free throws and corner threes. I thought that the Cavs played excellent defense on the initial action for Curry and Thompson, but didn't guard the second action, which was the slip or the skip pass. Their help defense was atrocious, which is why I think the Cavs have serious problems heading into game 2 and onward for this series. Let's see here. Bernard 543 says Warriors bench won't play like that every night, but the Splash Bros won't have bad games every night. He says Dubs in 6. If the bench keeps playing like today, Dubs in 5. I get what you're saying, and to your fact of the Warriors bench won't play like that every night, if the Cavs keep playing this atrocious defense like they have been, yes, the Cavs bench will play like that every night. They have to play every possession, every action in that possession and finish it off. They just did not do that last night or tonight, excuse me. Really bad. Spencer Box asking me who my game 1 MVP is. I mean, you got to give it to Livingston. He scored the most, right? And he was the most efficient. Let me pull up the box score for this game because I would like to have the numbers in front of me. But what did you guys think about Steve Kerr breaking that clipboard? I thought that was pretty funny. I'm not quite sure what he was so mad about, but yeah, he was pretty mad. He broke that clipboard. Let's see. Rod Seps asks, do you think the Cavs bench are the key for Cleveland to step up? Cavs big three really put great numbers, but the bench was awful. I don't think the Cavs big three put up great numbers. I thought they put up okay numbers. This is a great question, by the way. I don't think the Cavs bench is that good, or not that good, important, because um, their big three is so potent that they could carry them a game. I mean, you think about it. If they each score 25 points, uh, there's 75 points right there, and they really only need, 20 to 30 more points to beat the Warriors. What they really need to do is play defense, and that includes the big three, not just the bench or the other two guys on the floor when the big three is in there. All five guys on the floor need to play excellent defense, which they didn't. They played atrocious defense, and I thought it was interesting because they went into the half playing really bad, but only down 9, and I was like, wow, the Cavs might be onto something here, and then they blew it for the rest of the game. Not the rest of the game, but the end of the third and the fourth quarter. Recon JDC asks, will LeBron step up his game after what he just experienced today? Yeah, I think he'll step it up. I thought he played not very good. I mean, let's take a look at his stats here. LeBron went 9 for 21, not terrible. He shot 50% from 3. He only shot 4 times, though. He only had 4 free throws, 23 points, 9 assists, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals and a block. He did have 4 turnovers, though. That's really good numbers. I mean, yeah, you want him to score a little bit more, but I would point to his free throws. Only 4, you got to get at least double that, 8. And then if he makes, the 4, then he has 27 points. And we're talking about how great LeBron James played and how his teammates didn't step up. So I thought LeBron played fine, but not as good as he could, obviously. Yeah, I think he'll step it up. I think he'll be more aggressive going to the basket and get into that free throw line to get some easy points and get the Golden State Warriors into foul trouble. I think getting Bogut or Draymond or Iggy or Barnes or Clay or Steph, whoever's guarding him, into foul trouble, the Cavs will be onto something there. Let's see. NBA and Pokemon's asking me, when will I upload What's the Best Finals Ever? Probably after game 2. That's usually when I've been hitting up those NBA Talk videos. How do you feel about the whole Curry being injured is why he isn't playing well excuse? Jack Abbas says that. Jack, just because you're injured and then you play good one night doesn't guarantee you'll play good the next night. Remember, he came back from an injury and he had that amazing performance. I think he scored 40 points, 17 in overtime against the Blazers. Just because he played good that night doesn't mean he has to play good the next night. He could have just been playing on adrenaline, and then that night his knee really hurt or his ankle got really tweaked. Then the next game he didn't play as good. So everyone's banged up. So just like you saw with J.R. Smith, his wrist was tweaked, which is why he didn't shoot a lot. We don't know that for sure, but what we do know was that, yeah, he was holding his wrist like it hurt. What we do know is that Steph did tweak his knee this postseason, and yeah, it could be bothering him. He could be playing with the brace he's not used to, and as a shooter, that could throw your entire game off. We're not too sure, but just because he had a couple great games while he was injured doesn't mean when he isn't playing well, the injury had nothing to do with it. It's not an excuse. So having an injury, you could have a great game and then a terrible one the next night, and it could be because of your injury, not because you're just in a slump or having a bad shooting night or that Curry's garbage, like how some of you guys want to say. So that's just my takes on that. Let's see here. I'm really behind on the chat, so let me just catch up. If you want your question answered, make sure you do it a couple times because the chat kind of goes fast. James Menzies says, what retired player would you compare to Curry? I can't think of anything. He's such a dynamic and unprecedented style of play. James, I'd have to agree with you. You can't compare him to anything. We have never, ever, ever seen anything like Curry, and you guys should enjoy it while you guys can, because he is amazing. And that's not jumping on a bandwagon. It's fact. He's breaking records and he's playing at a championship level. Spencer Box asking me, do I think the Cavs need to play Kevin Love? Yes. Less. I don't think less as far as minute wise, but I think they need to play him at the right times. I'm not sure Kevin Love in crunch time is a good idea. Um, I think that their best lineup to guard the Warriors would probably be like Kyrie, Deli, Shump, LeBron, Thompson, and just have LeBron and Kyrie pick and roll, get a switch, punish whoever LeBron is on, or expose whoever Kyrie is on, and just have those guys carry you in offense. You can do that. That's absolutely possible. Two guys with that much offensive skill could carry your team to a finals victory. Absolutely. So, and in that equation is nowhere Kevin Love mentioned. So, yeah, I don't think they need to play him less, but they need to play him at the right time. Let's see here. Jaden Primus is asking me just to throw out the best example. The best example is Allen Iverson. Now, Allen Iverson didn't have the biggest range like Curry does, but Iverson used to like pull up with guys right in his face from mid range. He would go to the basket hard. He was this kind of like phenomena who was just captured the imagination of everyone because he was like this little guy going up against giants and absolutely wrecking people. He had great handles. He had the tattoos. He was a fashion icon. He was an off-court icon. He had the sneakers and everything. So I guess that's the most, that's the closest comparison, but still completely different in my opinion. So, yeah. Brock Guerrero is asking, do you think that Under Armour should have come up with an ID option like Nike so people can customize Curry since people are wanting them? Yeah, absolutely. Under Armour definitely needs to get onto the customizable colorway train. Okay, so Kristen Govea is asking me, where's LeBron in your all-time? I'm guessing like, where does LeBron place in my all-time list of players? Well, I would have to put him in the top 10. Where exactly in the top 10, I don't know. I just know that he's not surpassing Michael, Magic, Bird, Kareem, Wilt, and Russell. Those are the guys that I for sure would Kobe even. So that's 7. So I guess LeBron's 8. Now Kareem and not just Kareem you could like take out of there, but 7 or 8 all time. I think that's a fair assessment. Jack Abbas asking Drazen Pekovic. Drazen, he didn't spell it right, by the way, but that's okay. It's a hard word. It's a hard name to spell. Drazen didn't have the dribble moves that Curry had. He really didn't. So, yeah. Guys, I want this live stream to last no more than an hour and a half. So that would put us at around 10:30. So make sure or not 10:30, 11 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you get your questions in. Now, remember, this video is about what you guys thought. And then, I want to talk to you guys. I mean, I love this. All I've ever wanted was to talk sports with a lot of people. And you guys are giving me this opportunity to. So I just want to thank you very much. There's a giveaway coming soon. So stay tuned for that. It's a Jordan. It's not a new Jordan, but it's a Jordan between 1 through 14. It's one of those sneakers. So stay tuned for the giveaway. Because I'm really excited for that. I'm trying to get my subscriber count up. I think I put really good content out there for you guys, and I just want other people to see it, and I want to give back to you guys. So watch out for that giveaway. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Christian Govea is asking, what's the best shoe for wide footers? That's off topic, but I don't know. The Clutch Fit Drive 2 was a pretty wide base, in my opinion. Let's see here. Do you think Curry is more clutch than LeBron? Brandon Hamilton's asking. I'm not sure. I think that technically LeBron has had more clutch moments, but that's only because LeBron has been in those situations more. Remember, the Curry phenomena has only been lasting like 2 or 3 years. So LeBron has been in more playoffs than Curry. LeBron has been in the league more than Curry. So yeah, LeBron technically has more clutch moments. If you're asking me who I would want to have the ball in their hands, I would go Curry, just because he has a better shot, in my opinion. Okay, so Fernando Morales says, will the Warriors constantly be in LeBron's way of winning another title? I don't think so. Currently, at the moment, they are, but just think about it. OKC was so close to beating the Warriors and facing LeBron in the finals. So, and I don't know, would you pick OKC over the Cavs? Me, personally, I would, but some people might pick the Cavs over OKC. But had OKC beat the Warriors, then the Warriors wouldn't be in the way of LeBron. So I think no one's in the way of LeBron winning a championship. I just think the facts are the facts, and I think that the Warriors are a better team than the Cavaliers. So um, that doesn't mean the Warriors are in the way, because who knows? The OKC might have been, to some people, a better team than the Cavaliers. So it's not the fact that the Warriors specifically are in the way, like Detroit was in the way of the Bulls and Jordan getting to the finals, because clearly the Bulls were better, or not better, but one of the two best teams in the East. It was either the Pistons or the Bulls. And so the only thing standing in the Bulls' way were the Pistons. And I think the same could be said about the Warriors and OKC. They're the two best teams in the league when they're playing at their best. Sure, throw the Spurs in there. For you Clipper fans, sure. But I think there's just better teams than the Cavs. Had OKC advanced, I'm not sure if the Cavs would have beat them. So I don't think the Cavs are one of the two best teams in the league. They might be one of four, that being the Spurs, OKC, Warriors, and Cavs. Jonathan Manga is asking, do you think there were fouls that weren't given that should have been given? Yes, every game there's blown calls. Every game, LeBron gets superstar calls. Steph gets superstar calls. Durant gets superstar calls. Dwayne gets superstar calls. Every game there's missed calls. That's a part of the game. If you can't accept it, go ref a game. It's extremely hard, even for little kids, youth leagues. It's extremely hard to ref games. Okay, so Caden Davis is asking me, do you think LeBron would have more rings if he stayed with the Heat? No, because I think even that Heat teams would get slapped by the Warriors. So again, it's not that anyone is standing in the way of LeBron. It's just that whatever team LeBron is on, there are better teams out there than LeBron's current teams. Edward Baptiste is asking, will Curry die out? You can't predict the future. If you had to bet your life on it, would you say that Curry phenomena will die? I wouldn't feel good about it. I would be scared for my life if I said yes. Chef Curry's asking, Bill Russell is the GOAT. Yes, he has the most ring, but that doesn't mean he's the greatest basketball player of all time. That's still Jordan by my estimation. 6-0 in the finals, never lost in the finals, 6 finals MVPs, where Russell didn't win, wasn't the focal point of every finals win for that Celtics team. But I think Bill Russell had just as big of an impact on the game as a whole as Michael did, just in a different way. What Bill Russell did, what barriers he broke for basketball and African Americans was fantastic. And if there's a Mount Rushmore of the NBA, he's on it for me. Let me ask a question in the chat room really quick. I have to refresh the chat room. Okay. All right, I just asked a question in the chat room. So if you're watching, look at what question that I asked in the chat room, and I want you guys to answer it, because the question was, who would be on your Mount Rushmore in the NBA? And To me, it's Jordan, Magic, Bill Russell. Let's see, there's four, so I'd have to put one more. Larry Bird. Those are my four guys. What about you guys? I'm seeing Wilt, MJ, Magic, and Larry Bird. I don't think Wilt should be over Russell just because the barriers Russell took. I mean, he was a player coach and an African American in a time where civil rights was still an issue for that demographic. So I think he broke so many barriers in the NBA that he deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore. King DG13 says Hakeem, Jordan, Kobe, and Magic. I think Hakeem is the best center of all time. But again, Russell broke so many barriers. I just can't leave him off of my Mount Rushmore. When I talk about a Mount Rushmore, I talk about influential players, not the best or who you would have on your team or who's the best at their position, but the most influential to the game of basketball, not just the NBA, basketball. And to me, it's Russell, Jordan, Bird, and Magic so far. That could change in the coming years, obviously. Jack Abba asking, what about Shaq? He was the most dominant in his respective era, but I mean, Hakeem schooled Shaq in the finals. Remember? Here's a nice troll one. Mac Terek says Nash, Dellavedova, Dirk, and Ilgauskas. I see you're going with the all-white squad. I'm half white. I can respect that. Sark Bra says Russell never dominated like Wilt. Wilt single-handedly won for his team. Russell needed his teammates. Well, Wilt got dominated by Russell multiple times. There was, it's no secret that, people make jokes that when Wilt went up against, or Wilt's least favorite color was green because whenever he went up against a green jersey, he kind of faded. Wilt was kind of like the LeBron of his era, dominant at times, but certain teams and players, figured him out. Like LeBron, Rick Carlisle on that Mavs team figured out LeBron, and he got schooled. The Celtics in 2010 schooled LeBron. Russell schooled Wilt multiple times. Spencer Bach says Wilt scored 100 points in a game, which is pretty groundbreaking. Absolutely, but I want to see the film on that game because there's some rumors that that game was like a joke and that defenders weren't crossing half court and Wilt was cherry picking and that they just intentionally fouled him. So I want to see the tape on that game. But yes, scoring 100 points was absolutely insane and groundbreaking. But again, that's an individual statistic, whereas Wilt had just more groundbreaking, values. I mean, him being an African-American coach that was a player, he really stood up for his civil rights, and he was really involved with the community of African-Americans watching basketball. I think that that's something to be said. That was a great conversation, guys. I really love your impact, but let's get back into this finals game. I want you guys to tell me who you think is going to win right now. Let me ask the question in the chat. All right. So I just asked the question, who do you think's winning this series? I have Golden State in 5. I got a ton of Warriors in 6. I got one guy, a 5 Toto says Cavs in 7. Someone's Frenzy Kumo says gotta give Cavs 2 games. They're not going out like that. I mean, LeBron, look, I get it. I don't feel 100% confident in giving the Cavs just 1 game. Hold on, let me second. But I think that the Cavs are in for a rude awakening. They got what they wanted. Curry and Clay didn't play very well. they still lost, and by a lot. Speaking of the Cavs, um, I mean, that's what you want when you're playing against Golden State. You don't want Curry and Clay to go off, and that's what happened. And the Cavs still got, for lack of a better word, blown out. What was the final score? Let's see here, 104-89. That's not very good. Yeah, I think that the Cavs just haven't had to guard anyone, and you saw the skill of the Warriors just killed the Cavs. Livingston, very skillful, 8 for 10, 20 points, plus 20. Iguodala, 5 of 9, plus 21, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Let's see, Harrison Barnes, 6 of 10, plus 7. Let's see, Bogut scored 10 points. Let's see here. Leonardo Barbosa, 5 of 5, plus 14, 11 points. I mean, you just can't get away with stuff like that. You can't let that happen. You got to guard every player on the floor. It seemed like the Cavs wanted the other guys of the Warriors to beat them, and they beat them easily. Pio Lorenzo Perez says Cav just didn't set plays. I disagree. If they didn't play iso ball, they set a lot of plays, and in fact, I feel like they didn't put LeBron on the block in isolation situations enough, especially when they got a switch with Curry on him. So I think that they played quite a bit of players, and I don't think their offense was stagnant. I thought their defense was atrocious, terrible. Probably the worst defense that I've ever seen in a finals. And I'm not even look at the stats. Curry and Clay, terrible. The rest of the team, how many guys did the Warriors have in double figures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in double figures. Klay Thompson scored 9 points, so almost 8 guys. Unacceptable. Leonardo Barbosa went 100% from the field. Sean Livingston, 80% from the field. Iguodala, over 50%. Harrison Barnes, over 50%. That's unacceptable. You can't. I'm sorry, but that's not. No. Let's see. Let's see. Kingo, Draymond didn't kick anyone. He almost kicked someone. I forget who it was, but let's see here. How good was Kyrie on Steph? Again, I thought they were pretty good. And like I said in my last video, I thought Kyrie was a good defender. It's just when he wants to be, and you guys gave me crap for that. But I think Kyrie's a good defender. And I thought as a team, they, again, guarded the initial actions very well, but they didn't guard the slips, the cuts, the corner threes on the swing passes. And that's something that the Cavs are going to have to tighten up. Can they? Absolutely, they can. I mean, it's just one game. And to be honest, the Warriors did what they were supposed to. They won at home. The Cavs could easily come back in game 2 and stop the Warriors in everything they're doing and go on to win the series. But if I had to put my life on it, I would bet no. Warriors in 5. Alton Rogers says the big O, Oscar Robertson, may be the most versatile ever. Yeah, I mean, true. But LeBron is basically Oscar Robertson, but 6'8" and heavier. So, I mean, I don't know. And yes, LeBron didn't average triple doubles. Again, different era. And I think back then when Robinson was putting up triple doubles, the teams in the NBA had more possessions per game than this current era NBA. So I think that's interesting. But I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think I read that somewhere where Oscar Robertson's teams had more possessions per game than LeBron, and it wasn't even close. Yeah. Jaden Primus says, you can't put Livingston's performance on the Cavs defense. He just rose up and made shots. He was knocking down shots. They were being contested pretty well. Jaden, they put Kyrie on Livingston. What did you think was going to happen? Livingston has 3-4 inches on Kyrie. And you saw throughout the entire series or season, whenever they put a small player on Livingston, they went to Livingston and he did rise up and shot. So yes, I do blame Livingston's performance on the Cavs defense because they put a smaller guy on him. What did they think was going to happen? Axel 3, do you think Curry is trying to be the best player ever? I don't think he's trying to be the best player ever, but I do think him not winning Finals MVP last year is the main reason why he had such a great year, this season. I think that irked him, and I think in this game we saw Kerr try to legacy protect Curry and put him in the game when he didn't have to be in the game. And Curry hit that 1-3 over Kyrie, I believe, just to kind of get his stats up. And I think Curry is definitely trying to prove a point that he is the most important player to his team, but I don't think he's trying to be the best ever, meaning he's trying to dethrone Michael Jordan. Because remember, Michael Jordan is from where Steph Curry's from. He's an idol, and you don't, try to dethrone your idol. You just try to live up to your idol. There's a difference. So I don't think he's trying to be the best ever. Someone said something interesting, but I lost the comment. Sorry. Let's see here. I'm waiting for Jaden to respond to what I said about his Livingston comment. Just trying to catch up with the chat, guys. Sorry, I don't want dead air, but yeah. You guys are blazing the comments. I love it. Let's see. James Menza's asking, will the finals outcome affect the signature shoe lines of Curry and LeBron? If yes, how so? No, I think that the signature shoe lines from Curry and LeBron have already been effective. Curry is selling more than LeBron. And Nike says LeBron is their number one seller. And I'm not sure if that's in quantity or just pure dollar sales because his stuff costs the most. So I'm not sure, but I think those numbers are bogus. I see so many more people with Kobe's on than LeBron's. Granted, I don't live in Ohio or the East Coast, but I just don't see how those numbers add up from Nike. So I think that the signature lines are already affected. I see way more people in Curry's than LeBron's anyways. So, yeah. Jaden, he says, you're right about that. My comment sounds stupid now that you say it out loud. It wasn't that your comment was stupid. I just think that we can't ignore the fact that Cavs played such a terrible game defensively. It was really unacceptable. But again, that does not mean the Cavs cannot play effectively in the coming games. I think they can. I think they could easily win this series. But again, I'm not gonna bet my hard-earned money on it or my life. If someone came up and said, "Yo, I'm gonna shoot you if your prediction is wrong," I would say Warriors are gonna win this series. Five Total says the Cavs were just in this game. They just needed to finish around the world. Those were usually shots they make. I disagree, Fife. I think that their problems were defensively, not that they just needed to make shots or JR didn't hit threes. I think that their problems were offensive, or not offensively, defensively. They could win a game where they only score 89 points like they did tonight. They just need to make sure the Warriors score 88. That's just my opinion. I thought their defense was terrible. Jarrett Ramirez says that would be selfish when I was talking about the Curry thing. If that MVP thing is the case, then that just isn't right for Curry. Look, I agree with you, but I still don't think he like forces it too much. I think it irks him, and I think that he did try a little too hard. But again, his team won the game, and it didn't cost them anything. So I think that, yeah, it irks him. Yeah, he's trying to prove that he's the most important player of his team. Quite frankly, that's true. He is the most important player for their team. To call it not right, sure, you could call it that. But again, I think there's worse cases out there. like Russell Westbrook. Okay, so Ty Andrew says, people say Curry can't go one-on-one with top defenders. He has to use screens to switch off. I disagree. Curry can go one-on-one with anyone when he's on offense. Obviously, when he's on defense, like if LeBron and Curry were to play one-on-one, you know, LeBron would probably win because he would just punish him down low and he would just keep calling fouls. So that's just my take on it. But again, this isn't a one-on-one league. This is a 5-on-5 league. So yes, Curry using screens shouldn't be, we shouldn't have knocked that against him. That's part of the game. Okay, so Edward Baptiste says offense starts with defense, get stops, steals, and go on fast break. That's not always true. Look at last year's finals. They defended, and then what did they do? The Cavs. They just punched it into LeBron, and he made offense happen. The Cavs have three guys who are some of the best offensive players in the league. They could handle them offensively, and they could handle the Cavs' offense. What the Cavs need to do is defend. Okay, so look, get a stop, then have either LeBron, Kyrie, or Love make their offense because they certainly can. Offense starts with defense is a fallacy because defense starts with offense. Let's see here. What are the Warriors' keys to this series? Nothing, CJ Ratu. Keep playing the way you're playing. The key to their series is hitting the open man like they did today. They didn't try to force Curry or Clay and try to get them going. They just hit the open man. That was Livingston. That was Barnes. That was Barbosa. Just hit the open man. Play Warrior basketball, and they'll easily win this game. I want to introduce you guys to my best friend, Esteban. My dog is so cool. You'll love him. Esteban, come here. Come here. Say hi to the live stream. Come here. Now, here's my dog. He's like a mini German Shepherd Chihuahua mix. Don't ask how that happened. But yeah, his name is Esteban. Look at his collar. Captain America, baby, team cap. But yeah, I thought it would be cool to switch it up a little bit, a little nice change of pace rather than basketball. Look, Esteban, what up? My friends say that he looks like Snoop. Oh, stop it. Esteban. Look, Esteban, you're getting love on the chat. Yeah, Esteban. All right. Say bye, Esteban. Peace, fool. Esteban, can you give the chat a dab? Ready? Ready? Dab on him. Dab on him. Dab on him. How about this? Bah, bah, bah. Westbrook dance. Westbrook dance. Bah, bah. Dab on him. Dab on him. Dab on him. Dab on him. All right, get out of here, fool. All right. Let's see. Lil Baller's asking me who takes game 2 in my opinion. Look, the Cavs can easily take game 2. They can make adjustments, watch the film, and they could easily walk out of the Oracle Arena with a win like they did last year. Do I think it'll happen? I don't think it'll happen because I think that the Cavs might over adjust and then might leave Curry and Clay open. As silly as that sound, I don't know. Love and Kyrie have never been high Q players on defense. So it's really going to be up to the Cavs to defend every possession all the way through. And if they do that, they'll come out with the win. They don't need to score 100 points to win this game. They don't. They need to make sure the Warriors are contained offensively. You can't sit here and tell me that the Cavs contained the Warriors offensively. They clearly didn't. Let me take a look at how the Warriors shot as a whole, as a team. Let's see, 50%, 49.4%, where the Cavs shot 38%. 50% from the field, you're not going to win a game, especially on the road. And the Warriors didn't even shoot that well from three. 33% only shot 9 threes. The Cavs made 7. The Warriors made 9 threes, not shot. They shot 27. Made 9 threes. The Cavs only had 2 less than that. They shot the same percentage. And how about this stat? And I want you guys to pay attention to this. and then I'll get to more questions. Um, the Cavaliers attempted 20 free throws and made 18, where the Warriors made 9 and attempted 10. So for all those people who want to say that the NBA is rigged, the only way a ref could rig a game really is call fouls. They can't make these guys make shots, or not call a foul. Call a foul, put them to the line, and give them points. It's the only sport where a ref can literally give points to a team. Call a foul, get to the free throw line. And yes, it's up to the player to make the free throw, but it's free. It's a free throw. The Cavs shot twice as many free throws as the Warriors, and they still lost. Usually, as we saw in last series with OKC Golden State, the team who has the most free throws wins the game. That was the case in OKC, but not the case against the Cavs. Twice as many free throws. Again, that's all about defense for the Cavs. So let's get back to some more chat room questions. Do you think the NBA, this is from Warrior Palau, do you think the NBA will give LeBron the finals MVP since he was butthurt about not getting the MVP for the season? No, I don't think the MVP should ever go to the losing team in the finals, because what's the point of the finals? To win the MVP, not to win the MVP, to win the finals. So the finals MVP should be awarded to whoever had the biggest impact to their team's goal, which was winning the finals. Okay. Let's see here. Michael Nguyen asked me, do I think the NBA is rigged? No. I just got a bunch of dog hair on my face. Okay, so here's interesting. Dan Pawan says the OKC series was rigged for extra games. OKC had about 50 more free throws than the Warriors every game the Thunder won. That doesn't make sense. If it was rigged for extra games, the Warriors would have more free throws because OKC was up 3-1. So extra games would mean that they would ensure Warriors would win games to keep playing. So again, I don't think the NBA is rigged. I think it's just terrible. Okay, Fernando Morales asked me, do I think the Warriors could three-peat? Or do I think OKC will finally mature and have a chance to beat the Warriors? I don't think the OKC will beat the Warriors anytime soon unless they get a veteran, whether that's a coach. I know that sounds ridiculous because their coach actually did pretty good this postseason. But they need to get a veteran, a guy who can contribute on the floor. Nazir Muhammad, Nick Collison aren't cutting it for OKC. They need a guy who can contribute on the floor and say, guys, Russ, KD, relax. We're going to get through this. Move the ball. The ball will find energy. You'll get your shot in due time. Do I think the Warriors can three-peat? No. I think three-peating is a thing of the past. I think it's extremely hard to win 3 straight in this era of the NBA where it's the most talent that we've ever seen. Not most skill, most talent. So I think three-peating is tough, which is why I think the Warriors would get Durant, because they would acknowledge that three-peating is pretty much an impossible task. Whew, that was a lot. Do you think the age will affect Curry's game? He doesn't really rely on athleticism. James Mensah. I think Curry's later years in the NBA is going to be interesting. I don't think he could keep up the way he's playing on right now, because remember, it's not just about athleticism. Dirk Nowitzki said it best. He loves playing the games. Playing 40 minutes a night in the NBA isn't what's hard. What's hard is getting up at 5 a.m, stretching, exercising, putting in work at the weight room, eating right. That's what's hard. And so that takes up energy. And so that doesn't have anything to do with athleticism. So I think a lot of these guys get worn down by the process rather than the actual product. So it'll be interesting to see if Curry can sustain doing the things he needs to do to prepare for the actual game. I think that'll be very telling. Alton Rogers says, I think Jerry West won the finals MVP in a loss. He did. I think that's wrong, but he did. So Brandon Hamilton asks, how many points do you think LeBron needs to score to score a game to win the series. He could score 20 and they could win the series because they have Love and Kyrie. Kyrie could have like a 35-point game. They could still win with LeBron scoring 20. Anything under 20, I think that they're in trouble. But, like 20 or more, that's what the mark for LeBron. Because what they need from LeBron is they need the threat. Remember, Curry and Clay didn't have good statistics this game, but the threat of them helped the Warriors out tremendously. They doubled those guys off screens, which left other guys open. So the threat of Curry and Clay contributed to the Warriors' win. So they just need the threat of LeBron. LeBron needs to sink guys in to help his teammates out. Okay, so let's see. Kingo asked me, will age affect Westbrook? Absolutely, especially if he doesn't find that go-to skill. I think he's an okay passer, even a good passer. I don't think he's an excellent passer. I think Westbrook passes to the guy who's open most, and that's a good pass. But guys like Chris Paul, Curry, Jason Kidd in his prime, John Stockton, these guys pass to the guy who would get them the best shot. So Curry has led the league this year in hockey assists, which means he passed to a guy who then got an assist on a bucket. So Westbrook doesn't do that. Westbrook passes to the guy who's most open, and that guy might be Roberson or Robertson in the corner, and he bricks a three. So what's the good in that? So yeah, I think age will affect Westbrook. Warrior Palau says, me and Nightwing need to live show together talking about the finals. I asked him if he wanted to join. He said he didn't watch the game. Nightwing doesn't watch as much basketball as me. He watches the Warriors, and that's about it. But he didn't even watch this game. So he didn't even watch Game 7, I believe. Or was it Game 6? One of them. He didn't watch it. Let's see. Do you think LeBron will leave if he loses this series? No, but I think Love and Kyrie are on the block if they lose this series. Damian Lillard is more explosive than Curry. Yep, and water is wet. Okay. Lil Baller asks, how many games would the 95-96 Bulls beat the Warriors? So are you asking in a series? I think that the world would just explode and none of them would win any games. That's a tough question. I'm not sure. That's a whole other video in its own, maybe for an NBA talk. I'm not too sure. Okay, so hold on one second. All right, let's take a look here. Kingo asked me, what if Shaq stayed in Orlando with Penny? I don't know, because I don't think Penny getting injured had anything to do with Shaq leaving. So even if Shaq stayed, had Penny still got injured, then what? They're not winning that many games, especially in the playoffs without Penny. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting that Shaq said if he had known what he know now, then he would have stayed in Orlando. I think that's a lie. The homie won 4 championships since he left Orlando. It was the right move. So I thought he was lying through his teeth. Let's see here. No reason the Warriors should sign KD in the offseason. 3 high-scoring players would cause stat drop and issues. Only if they have egos, which Curry and Clay don't. KD might, but probably not. Look at what the Spurs are doing. None of those guys have egos, and Duncan sat on bench all year for the fourth quarter, and he didn't have any issues with that. I know KD and Duncan are in different times of their career, but as long as you don't have an ego, anything's possible. Look at the USA team. There's no egos there because they're playing for their country. So, yeah. Let's see. I just saw a Blazers question. Oh, here we go. Martinez established 2013 asked me, are the Blazers going to be a contender next year if they get a big free agent? Yes, especially if they get KD, which I don't think is unrealistic, should I say. Sneaker Scanner says, who's a better teammate, Curry or LeBron? I don't know. Why don't you answer that yourself when Curry subtweets his own teammates in a negative, condescending, slightly mysterious way? Axel3 asks, do you think the NBA needs more equal teams? No, I think the NBA needs, I don't know. I just think that there's so much potential on so many teams, but it never turns out. You know what I mean? Like the Knicks could have been a playoff team. Porzingis, Melo, Lance Thomas, Robin Lopez, Aaron Aflalo. They could have been a playoff team, 8th seed, but they just didn't because they just don't have the killer instinct. I don't know. I think that there's more talent than there's ever been in the league, but not enough smarts or skills. All right, I'm going to end this stream at like 11, so get your questions in. KG to the Pelicans, him and AD would be amazing. Ethan's saying that, yeah, it would, but KD would probably get injured if he went down there, just like everyone else. Caden Davis asks, what state or city would you like to have their own NBA team, and what would you name it? Honolulu. They would probably be called the Honolulu Elites, which is like a chief in Hawaii, like a king. That's my ultimate answer. My easy answer, or my more realistic answer, would be Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what they would call it, but I would like to see a team in the NBA in Pittsburgh. I think it's a great sports town, and I think that it's awesome how every one of their sports teams' colors are black and yellow, and I think that would look awesome on an NBA court, black and yellow. Pittsburgh NBA team, make it happen. Kingo says that LeBron said Steve Kerr shouldn't have won Coach of the Year. I didn't read that, but that's BS. Steve Kerr definitely should have won Coach of the Year. Let's see here. Love suffered 8-point drop, and LeBron and him have issues. That's from Ty Andrews. Exactly, because LeBron has an ego, and Love might as well. But I just don't see Steph complaining that he dipped 5 points per game or 8 points per game in his next year. I don't see that happening. I just think that they're different players, different personalities. Nathan Pierce asked me, do I think the Timberwolves are the team of the future? Absolutely, especially since they got the right coach. If they didn't get Thibodeau, I would say no. Coaching is so important. General managers are so important. Scouts, trainers are so important. And I know Thibodeau is going to do the right things, and I think the Timberwolves are the team of the futures. Warrior Palau says, I've heard so much talk about Walton trying to get Barnes and the Azealis besides talks of Durant. Who would you see as an addition to the Dubs? If the Dubs say bye to Ezeli, bye to Bogut, bye to Barnes, I would seriously consider picking up Joakim Noah. He would be perfect for the Warriors. He's got good defensive instincts. He passes very well. He has good IQ. And yes, he had a terrible year, but I think that was more of the coaching with Fred Hoiberg. And I think that having such great offensive talent around Joakim Noah, he could easily finish around the basket. The Bulls just didn't have enough shooting, and he kind of had to make contested shots in the paint. But, oh, my God, Joakim Noah to the Warriors, that would be so fun to watch. Okay. Let's see here. Michael Neal's asking me, you think the Warriors are able to go further next year than this year? That would have them in the finals. I'm not sure. They need to upgrade the 4th position. If I could put anyone on the Raptors right now, without the obvious answers, superstars, LeBron, Paul George, Kyrie, Steph, all that, Damian Lillard. My most realistic player that I would put on the Raptors is Serge Ibaka. Perfect. 3, defense, he would be like Biyombo, but more skilled. Masai Ujiri and him are probably close friends, both being immigrants from Africa. Ibaka in an international city like Toronto, they would embrace him. They would love him. Ibaka to the Raptors, that's my dream. Spencer Box asking me, Terry Stotts was the real coach of the year. Look, when your team goes 73-9 and breaks the regular season record, you're coach of the year. I don't care. Like in any situation, you're coach of the year. Let's see. Brandon, yes, I did block him. This isn't an area for negativity. We're just trying to talk basketball. We love basketball. That's what we have all in common. Basketball, sneakers, comics, whatever. We just want to talk about that. We don't need to talk about other stuff. Okay. Uh, Sylvia Castellanos asked, what's your thoughts on Luke Walton leaving the Warriors? Smart or not? Extremely smart. When the Lakers calling your name, you take that. And I think that the Lakers will have a longer leash with Walton than they did with other coaches because Walton was a player and they know that it's a process. I think Walton's going to stress that it might not be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4. It might take 5 years to really get back on track. But just think of it. If the Lakers have Walton winning championships with them, it would just be such a feel-good story. Former Laker, son of a legend, California kid, winning championships for the Lakers franchise. They're going to want that to happen. So, yeah, I think Luke Walton to the Warriors or leaving the Warriors was smart. Okay. Let's see. MCR Lover 95 says, do you think Blatt would have done a better job than Lou? I think this Cavs team has successfully taken control of the coaching situation. I'm talking about the players. If the players just shut up and listen to their coach, I think they'd be so much better. But it's clear that they have their own agenda. Tyronn Lue is a defensive, old-school guy, and the defense that the Cavs played tonight was unacceptable and not a reflection of what Tyronn Lue is preaching as a coach. I clearly think that the Cavs have their own agenda as players. Okay. Josh Kim 99 is asking me, if LeBron loses the finals again, what do you think will happen to his career? I don't think much will change. I think a win will do so much more than a loss will do. Because look, they're playing the Warriors, the best regular season team ever. If he loses to them, what's the big deal? They're not favorites, the Cavs. The Warriors are the best regular season team in NBA history. Them losing to them is not a big deal. So, yeah, I don't think it does much to them if he loses. If he wins, it'll help him so much because he gets a ring for Cleveland, hometown hero, all that jazz. So that's just my thoughts about that. Warrior Palau, again, Nightwing just isn't equipped for that. You know, he doesn't follow the NBA like we do. He just, you know, he knows the big things, you know, Warriors, LeBron, but, you know, like trades, like he would have never talked about the Reggie Jackson trade to Detroit and what that has to do with Detroit. That's just not his style. I'm definitely having him plan on being on this show in future post games. So definitely that. Peyton Ford asked me, how many titles do you think Curry and LeBron will retire with? I'm not sure. You can't predict the future, but I have a question for you guys. If Curry wins 4 straight rings, but never gets to 6 like Jordan, could he still be considered as one of the 3 best players in the league? Curry, Jordan, Magic? To me, yes. 4 straight, that's tough, especially in this era of the NBA. And I'm not sure if Jordan would have got 4 straight. My all-time dream, if I had a time machine and I could change the future, what I would do is I would have the Bulls play the Rockets in the finals and see what would happen. I'm not sure Jordan would have got his 4 ring straight against Hakeem and the Rockets. What do you guys think? Okay, let's see here. Should the Sixers trade Okafor to the Celtics for pick 3 and draft Ingram and Hield? That's from Ty Andrews. No, I don't think the Sixers or the Celtics should trade Okafor for Okafor. I think that they should use their number 3 draft pick to get like the kid Chris Dunn or Buddy Hield, and then trade their other guys. Don't trade that number 3 pick, in my opinion. I just don't think Okafor's the answer. Okay, so Hakeem was a one of a kind player. Absolutely, to me, he's my favorite center of all time. I would pick him to be on my top 5 or my starting 5 of the NBA. It would be Magic, Jordan, Bird, probably Tim Duncan. If I'm allowed to put Shaq there, Shaq, and then Hakeem. That's what I would do. Okay. Maxell Blackwell says Jordan took so many rings away from legends that should have won them. He did. And you know what? A lot of those legends say, oh, if Jordan wasn't there, we would have won rings. Well, guess what? Jordan wasn't there for 2 years. And you know who won rings in those 2 years? Hakeem. That's it. So, Ewing, you had your shot. Malone, you had your shot. Barkley, you had your shot. Shaq, you had your shot, even though he did win rings later. But look, Jordan was gone for 2 years, and only one guy won rings in those 2 years, and that's Hakeem Olajuwon. Nathan Pierce asked me, does Bradley Beal deserve a max contract? On today's NBA market, yeah, but if you're asking me, no. I think guys are getting ridiculous amounts of money. It reminds me of when execs were signing ridiculous contracts, like Joe Dumars with Charlie Villanueva and Ben Gordon and Rashard Lewis having that ridiculous contract with Orlando. I think that they're going to regret a couple of these contracts looking down the road. Let's see. Oh, yeah, don't forget Drexler. Drexler Jordan destroyed Drexler's career after that 91 finals, or 92 finals. Seriously, Drexler was never the same after Jordan destroyed him. Okay. Andrew P says, I think Brandon Ingram is better than Simmons. I don't know. I would still pick Simmons if I had the number 1 pick. Would Jordan have passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list if Jordan didn't leave for 4 years total? I don't know. Let's look that up real quick. That'll be the last thing we talk about. NBA all-time scoring list. I don't really know the numbers for sure. I think Jordan is what? 4th or 3rd? Let's see here. 4th. Yeah, so all-time scoring list, Kareem number 1, 38K. Malone number 2, 36K, almost 37. Kobe at 33.6K with Jordan at 32K. So, yeah, I think especially if Jordan didn't leave those 2 years in the mid-90s, he probably would have been second to Kareem. I don't know, 38,000 is a lot. LeBron James right now is 11th with 26,000. So, yeah, there's there. Okay, last questions. We got 10 minutes left, 12 minutes to be exact. But, yeah, let me know anything you guys want to know NBA related, especially with this finals game 1. Okay, so Dan Paugen is asking, where do you think Durant will fit the best? The best fit? OKC. Sylvia Castelos who says, will Lakers pose a threat to Warriors in the next couple of seasons? Hey, the Lakers are one of 9 teams to beat the Warriors this year, so you could say they're a threat already. Just kidding. No, I don't think the next 2 years, unless they do like a Jedi mind trick to get a superstar player like they did when they got Pau Gasol. Mitch Kupchak was like, you want Kwame Brown and Marc Gasol for Pau Gasol. So if they do that to like Larry Bird or Vlade Divac in Indiana or Sacramento, then yeah, they'll pose a threat because the Lakers only need one guy, and one guy will be followed by many. So yes. Let's see. Best free agent for the Blazers, Peyton Ford is asking. The best free agent, I think the smartest signing would be Lance Thomas from New York. You could get him for cheap, and down the road, he's going to be a tremendous player, glue guy, has no ego, shoots the threes, defends every position. He wants to rebound. That is a good guy. He's a skilled guy. I think he was a 4-year player at Duke, so you know he's well coached. Lance Thomas, sign him, and then get a big fish the next offseason, like KD. Prove to KD that you can get, again, 4th or 5th seed in the West and have these great talented guys around, then sign KD or a big fish like him. Okay. Edward Baptiste says, will the Spurs fall apart as their veterans retire? No, because they got Kawhi and LaMarcus. And when you have two guys like that, that's a guaranteed spot in the Western Conference Finals. Or not Western Conference Finals, Western Conference Playoffs. Okay. Let's see. Can LeBron lead the Cavs to win a title? Absolutely. They could win this title, but will they? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. Again, if I had to bet my hard-earned money on it, I would say not this year. Ty Andrew says, does Nick Young deserve a starting spot on an NBA team or 6-man, 30-plus minute? He's probably a 6-man. He's pretty bad on defense, and he doesn't play make. He's not a very good passer. James Mensah is asking NBA coaching Mount Rushmore. Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, and he would need one more for a Mount Rushmore. Popovich. Those are my 4. So Riley, Auerbach, Jackson, Popovich. Maxwell Blackwell is asking, is Kevin Love washed up? Absolutely not. I just don't think this is the right series for him. Okay. Sneaker Scanner's asking, do I think LeBron will ever bring a ring to Cleveland? Of course he can. Absolutely. He will bring a ring to Cleveland if the guys around him buy in. I just haven't fully thought that they've bought in yet. I mean, it just shows in their defensive effort this game. And look, it's only one game. They could turn it around. Absolutely. They're only down 1-0. And the Warriors did what they were supposed to do. So Kingo's asking, is Emmanuel Mudiay going to win a ring in his career? That's an early question, but I'm biased because he went to my school. Kingo, I love the Mudiay. I wanted my Lakers with the number 2 pick to pick Mudiay. He's a fantastic pick-and-roll player. He's got size and length. He could see over the pick and rolls. And in today's NBA, where the pick and roll is the most important play in basketball, having a guy who could see over the pick and roll and not only attack out of it, but make plays for his teammates is so valuable. And that's what I wanted. And I think that he has the physical tools to be great defensively. When I watch D'Angelo Russell's and the Lakers, and D'Angelo's not playing in the 4th quarter because his defense is so bad, I'm looking at those games saying, hey, Emmanuel Mudiay would be playing right now had he been on the Lakers. So I love Emmanuel Mudiay. Let's see. Nike Addict, do you think the Clippers will be blown up? I don't know, but a Blake Griffin KD trade is nice, right? I mean, Blake Griffin back in OKC with Westbrook, that would be, imagine the alley-oops between those guys. It would be nuts. The AJH 1991 asked me, who do I think the Bulls will bring in over the summer? Honestly, I don't know. The Bulls are my least favorite front office ever. They draft extremely well. They drafted Jimmy Butler. They drafted Bobby Portis. They drafted Taj Gibson. They drafted Nikola Mirotic. They drafted a lot of guys that turned out well for them. And I don't doubt their scouting abilities, but they just don't treat their players with respect. And I think that free agents are going to look at that. The way they run Tibbs out of town, the way they ran Luol Deng out of town, the way that they promised Taj Gibson a starting role before they signed Pau Gasol. Like, they're the worst. Gar Forman and Paxson, they're just sleazy. Maxwell Blackwell, is Jimmy Butler a future MVP? I don't know about MVP. I think he could be the second best player on a championship team. The best shooting guard in the league right now is probably Klay Thompson, in my opinion. Where will Pau Gasol go? I don't know. That's a great question. He's kind of old. He's kind of getting phased out, but he's still putting up numbers. So I don't know. A good spot for him. Who needs a big man? I don't know. Like Toronto? They need a 4. All right, wrapping things up. Anthony Davis gets a signature shoe. If I were Under Armour, I'd throw all my money at Anthony Davis. I know big men don't sell shoes, but he doesn't even wear big men shoes. Yeah, he wears the audacities and the hyper positives, but he could easily get away with wearing, you know, the Superfly or the Crusher Drive 2 or whatever. So yeah. Let's see here. Caden Davis is asking me if I think there should be a 4-point shot in the NBA. No. Let's see. Dan Paugen. The Warriors do need a really good big man like Joakim Noah, like I said earlier. Bad Boy 0630 says, is it scary that the Splash Brothers did not have a good game but still took the win? Yeah, and it was a convincing win. I mean, let's see, 104-89. Yeah, that's concerning for the Cavs. And it just harkens back to what I've been saying all live stream, is that the Cavs need to guard the second, the third, the fourth options on that Warrior squad. Sean Livingston is a third or fourth option at best when he's on the floor, and he lit them up. Ty Andrews, no, I don't think they'll trade Rose or Butler. I think they just ride out this year. Okay, I think that pretty much takes care of this live stream. Remember, guys, I'm doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned to my channel for that. Make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. I love doing this. I'll do it if you keep supporting me. Again, the last video did very well. I appreciate it, guys, so much. All I've ever wanted in life was to talk basketball with a ton of people, and you guys are giving me that opportunity to. Really, guys, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I love basketball. I love socializing. I think it's extremely important to talk with other people in person, on the internet, in a nice manner. You guys are the best, which is why I'm going to be doing not just one giveaway, but two. If the first giveaway is successful, I'm going to do another giveaway. Remember, the first giveaway is a Jordan, and it's a Jordan number 1 through 14, OG colorway. Then the second giveaway is going to be a Kobe, and it's going to be a rare Kobe. I promise you guys. So if you support the first giveaway, if you keep supporting my channel, you keep subscribing, keep thumbing me up, you're going to have a second giveaway. I'm getting some requests for Esteban. Esteban, come here. People want to see you. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're getting old. Come here, bud. Everyone say bye to Esteban. Esteban, say bye. Dab on him. Dab on him. Dab. Squad. But yeah, guys, again, totally thank you so much. No, it's not the Kobe Grinches. Sorry, I can't afford that. But it is a good colorway. I promise you. You won't see it coming. Remember, 2 giveaways if you keep supporting the live streams. I love doing this, guys. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Peace.